How are you, family? How are you guys doing? How are you guys doing today? How are you guys doing? Listen. I'm excited, ladies and gentlemen. Go ahead and type up in the chat where you guys are calling in from. I'm excited to see all of you today. I know folks are coming in from Clubhouse. Folks are coming in from YouTube, Facebook, different places. So I am super excited that I have this particular audience that I'm able to really dialogue with today. So go ahead and type where you're coming in from, guys. And I'm always telling everyone, tag a friend, tag a friend, tag a friend. It's really good to tag someone to really just have them participate in this, right? So this is this is super excited today. I'm fired up about today. I'm just fired up overall because I really believe that what we see going on right now, all over in our lives, in our present life, it's such something in the making. It's a birth in the making, right? What's happening around us right now, ladies and gentlemen, it's a birth in the making. And I don't know, some of you might now, right? You might be saying to yourself, so what do you mean? I want you to just think about that for a second, right? Think about all the things that you're seeing and think about the things that are happening and really just let it digest, let it sit for a second so you can understand that, wow, there's a birth in the making. There's some things happening. There's something major coming. And if you can just take a second and really visualize that, tell me if you feel that. And if you feel that, put some sevens in the chat. I want you guys just to take a few seconds and just visualize that. And if you feel that, and if you see that, if you're starting to see that experience of what's happening in this economical shift all over the world and what's happening in your present life, take a second and just be still. And if you feel that, put some sevens in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. Put some sevens in the chat. If you feel that, let me know when you do. Take a second, put some sevens in the chat because it's so important for us to be here today. I'm fired up. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the Mr. Boston's Leadership Summit, and the team definitely works diligent to really bring you guys the summit and to do all the research and the work to be able to have this summit be something that will help and serve you all in some way, shape, or fashion. And that's really what's important when we do these summits. It's really important to understand. A lot of times people will say, well, hey, I'm jumping on this call. I'm just going to really listen in, but I'm not really going to pay attention. But the thing is that when you think about a summit, right, it introduces students to key leadership, to practical applications that they can use in everyday life. That is very important to understand when you come. So if you're unable to really document and grab a pen and a pad to really document, then make sure that you're listening attentively, because listening is really a skill. For most of you, you've heard me say this many times, listening is a skill and we have to put in the effort to listen, because if we don't listen, then we miss. Now, guys, I know I asked you guys to go ahead and just spend a minute and visualize as to what you've been feeling in this season, in this economy, in this season of our lives. And if you're feeling this birth coming, if you feel in that presence, go ahead and put 7 in the chat for me. Go ahead and put 7 in the chat for me, ladies and gentlemen. I want to know if you're feeling this, because a lot of times we're moving so fast, but we don't realize what's happening in front of us because we're just living right in the day-to-day, right? We're living in the day-to-day. So I want you guys to think about that. You know what I mean? To think about that. This is very important. Guys, today's topic, there's been so much going on. There's been so much going on. And it took me some time to really digest all that's happening and to really understand that where the other end is that you're unable to see is where your greatness lies. It's where your blessings lies. It's where that path that you seek, that's where it leads to. So today's topic, write it down, it's called Broken But Not Over. broken but not over. Today's topic, broken but not over. So I asked you guys about, are you seeing this, right? Is it birth? Is there birthing happening, right? And it's very important for us to understand, when you hear broken but not over, uh, it is so important to understand that in life, there will be mistakes and there will be hurdles. It's very important for us to understand that. In life, there will be mistakes and they will be hurdles. And a lot of times we are so caught in the moment that as the moment passes by, we step right into another moment. And then when we realize that there are things happening chaotic in our space, or things happening that we don't want to happen, then we start the complaining. That's when we start doing the analyzing. But a lot of times when we do that analyzing, it's more so something that will take us into a bad space because we've been moving from moment to moment. So we haven't slowed up to sit still to really focus. I want you guys to think about that for a second. I want you guys to think about it because it's very important for us to be here in what's happening right now. See, there's mistakes and there's hurdles that happens, right? And it's very important. Now, I want you to think about this. A lot of times we say to ourselves, if you could erase, just think about this, if you could erase the mistakes of your past, right? A lot of times people say, well, if I can erase the mistakes of my past, I will just go back and do this. I will go back and do that. I will go back and do this. But I want you to think about things a little different as we go down this lane today. Because see, if you erase the mistakes of your past, then, ladies and gentlemen, you would be erasing all the wisdom of your present. I want you to think about that. If you erase the mistakes of your past, you would be erasing the wisdom of your present. So you have to remember the lesson and not the disappointment. You have to remember the lessons on the journey and not the disappointment. If you guys are with me, put one in the chat. If you guys are with me, put one in the chat, because it's very important. So what does it mean when we say you have hurdles in life? What does it mean when we say, I'm just moving from phase to phase? I'm just going down the path, jumping in from one phase to the next, but then I haven't stopped to really slow up and see that the same things are happening over and over again. And when I do stop, instead of me taking some quiet time to really analyze, when I analyze, I'm analyzing incorrectly. When I'm analyzing in a space where it's affecting me. Are you guys with me? If you're with me, ladies and gentlemen, let me know that you're with me. If you're with me, let me know that you're with me. If you're with me, let me know that you're with me. This is very important for us to be in this space, because this space right now, it's so powerful. It is so powerful, this space that we're in, ladies and gentlemen. So I want to make sure that you guys are with me right now. This is very, very important. So when you hear hurdle, see, when you hear about a hurdle, you think about a hurdle is a problem that you must solve or deal with before you can progress. What is a hurdle? It's a problem that you must solve or deal with before you can progress. So what does a hurdle mean? You heard that. What is a hurdle problem? I want you to think about that. We said, what does a hurdle mean? Well, some people say, well, hey, you got to run a race. Let's think about it, right? So you run a race, and when you run a race, there's hurdles that you got to jump over. And you got to jump over these hurdles to get to something, to keep running. So when you think of hurdles as a race that you have to jump over something to get to something, to keep running, it tells me that, guess what? There will always be hurdles in life. I'm hoping somebody's following me. See, it tells me that there will always be hurdles in life. But the thing about having hurdles, you have to know how to handle the hurdles that come at you. So you have to know how to handle the hurdles that comes at you, because there will always be hurdles in life. But then how about the hurdles that are self-imposed? How about the hurdles? What are some of the biggest hurdles that we go through? You look at this economical shift, you look at everything that's happening in the world today. You look at it, I said there's a birthing going on. If you took time and you sit still enough, there's a birthing going on. What it means there's something new coming, right? There's something new. But see, there must be these things, right? But then what are some of those things that can really bring hindrance to you? I want y'all to think about this. And now, ladies and gentlemen, you know you got to get your pen and pads when we're here. I want you guys to be able to document if you can, because if even one thing stands out that will serve you well or serve someone you know, that is important. That is truly important. Now, what are some of those things? What are some of those things? I want you guys to write it down. Now, one of the hurdle that's a big hurdle is envy. I want somebody to write that down. Envy. Envy is a hurdle, ladies and gentlemen. Envy is a hurdle. What are some of these self-imposed hurdle? Self-imposed or envy is a hurdle. Sometimes it's the art of counting. What is envy? The art of counting someone else's blessings. I want you to think about that. The art of counting someone else's blessing instead of your own. Ladies and gentlemen, this is very important. Envy will destroy your success. The hurdle. Envy will destroy your success because now you're counting someone else's blessing instead of your own. So you need to focus on what is in front of you so that it can make you happier instead of focusing on what's going on with someone else. I'm hoping you guys are hearing me, because see, if you're looking around, we got these phones. We got these phones. When you open up some of the social media platform, you got 16 screens in front of you. And you're getting blasted with so much information. Then sometimes we're caught up in what we see and what we believe is the lifestyle. And in some of us, we have people around us that we see how they're living. And instead of it being motivational, we turn to envy. This is happening around us, ladies and gentlemen. This is happening right now. Now, one of the other things, I'll move on. One of the other things is perfectionism. Ooh, that's another self-imposed hurdle. Perfectionism. Write it down, ladies and gentlemen. Perfectionism is another self-imposed hurdle. See, some of you might say, well, what are you talking about? It's great to be a perfectionist. Self-abuse of the highest order. Perfectionism is not the quest to be the best, but allowing yourself to be governed by your harshest voice in your head. That harshest voice in your head. Perfectionism, that's an issue. It tells you that you'll never be good enough. Has somebody ever been there? If you've been there, put one in the chat. Let's be transparent, ladies and gentlemen. That voice in your head that's telling you that you'll never be good enough. That voice that's telling you that, oh no, you got to do it this way. And it's constantly on you. Abuse, abuse, abuse. But see, we're not realizing what's happening because you're using that and said what you're hearing is to push you to perfectionism, but you're not realizing that that perfectionism is actually the harshest voice that is abusing you. And guess what? It hampers your success. Not only hamper your success, it leads to 1, anxiety, 2, depression, 3, paralysis, in where the best achievements that can be accomplished is not happening because of perfectionism. Oh my gosh. I don't know if that's for somebody, but I know that I've analyzed me, and I know the walk that I've gone through in my life. And oh, I'm guilty. Oh, I'm guilty. Perfectionism. That's very important. So I want to make sure that you guys are grasping this. Now, number three is comparison. Number three is comparison. Number three is comparison. That's another self-imposed hurdle. Comparison, ladies and gentlemen. See, successful people don't compare themselves to others. I want you to think about that. They know it's a waste of time and energy. Two very important things. Two very important things that you're not going to hold on to for the rest of life. Time and energy. Time and energy. So they know it's a waste of time and energy, so they do not compare themselves to others. Because as you already have noticed, if you think about it, right? There's no one else like you. You're your own person. There was only one of you. There's no duplication. There was only one of you. So don't compare yourself to others. Do not do that. Aspire to be great, a greater version of you. It's very important to understand. That is very important to understand. So instead of putting another hurdle in front of you, a self-imposed hurdle of comparing yourself, don't, because you are special. It's only one of you. And I need you to understand how important that is, because when we look at the scope of what's happening across the world, across the globe, ladies and gentlemen, we're suffering heavily from the few of these things that I've already mentioned. And if you pay good attention, you will see this clear as day. Now, number four is the word blame. Ooh, I know a lot of us, we hear that. Blame. That's another hurdle that we put in our way. I mean, of course, we blame our lives, our success, our achievement. Guys, it's what we make of ourselves. But we will blame. So we like to blame things on others, which is just wrong. Because we put that self-imposed hurdle on ourselves. So spend time and energy fixing the problem instead of blaming others. These things that's affecting our achievement, affecting how we level up. Spend time and energy on how to solve those things so that we don't blame others. It's very important for us to see and understand. It's just a lazy way of making a sense of failure and mistake. That's all blame is, a lazy way. Being very lazy. I got to make sense of this failure and this mistake that I made. So I got to blame someone else. If you guys are with me, go ahead and put some sevens in the chat. If you're with me, put some sevens in the chat. If you're with me, ladies and gentlemen, put some sevens in the chat. I want to know who is out here. If you're with me, put some sevens in the chat. It's very important for us to understand, because what's happening right now is so powerful to me. What's happening right now is so powerful to me. I'm going to go through a few more because I want to make sure you guys grasp what's really going on right now. Self-doubt, ladies and gentlemen. Number 5 is self-doubt. Self-doubt. Very important. Self-doubt. See, whenever you find yourself doubting, I want you to think about that. Whenever you find yourself doubting how far you can go, because we've all been in this space, you find yourself doubting how far you can go. Just remember, ladies and gentlemen, how far you came. Remember how far you came. When you find yourself doubting how far you can go. Ooh, that's happening so heavy today. Because again, we got these phones. And when we go on these phones, we see people living a life. That's what we believe. That's what is shown. We see people living a life. So now there's self-doubt. How far can I go? I can't be like, I can't act like. See, right now, you already took yourself out of the picture and put someone else in the picture. So now self-doubt is going on heavily in your life. Because you didn't see the journey traveled, you were looking at the trial, so you can't see how far you've come. Come on, somebody, if you're with me, type, I'm with you. If you're with me, type, I'm with you. See, everything you face, all the battles that you've won, all the fears that you've overcame, come on, somebody. It won't allow you to have self-doubt if you just stay easy and analyze what's really happening. I need you guys to understand this is very important in order for you to move forward. Because if you only paid attention to all those things that you have gone through, this is powerful. So we sabotage ourselves with self-doubt. We put another hurdle in the way. These are hurdles, self-imposed hurdles. Now, number 6 is fear. Number 6 is fear. It's very important. Number 6 is fear, ladies and gentlemen. So if you are afraid of failing, think about this, right? You are most likely fearful to act. Ooh. If you are afraid of failing, you are most likely fearful to act. I'm hoping somebody get that. I'm hoping somebody with me. Come on, somebody. See, fear is only your mind way of saying that there's something important. Woo! It is only your mind way saying that there is something important for you to overcome. I'm hoping you guys are following. It is only your mind's way to say, look, there is something big for you to overcome. So do not allow it to stand in the way of your success. You should never, ever allow fear to stand in the way of your success. See, risk and dangers are real. I need you to understand. Risk and danger, it's real, guys. But you know what? Fear is a choice. Fear is a choice. So people tell me, but it's dangerous. I'm taking too much risk with this investment. I can't believe that you want this, and how am I going to? It's real. But see, the fear behind the behavior, your approach, that, ladies and gentlemen, is a choice. That's extremely important for you to understand. So you can be boldly into the investment. You can be boldly stepping forward, making the decision to know that I am making this decision and whatever I'm expecting will be so, because my application to this situation is of it is done. Fear is a choice. Fear is a choice. Let's move to number 7, ladies and gentlemen. Distraction. Distraction. Ooh, that's a big one. Distraction. We get distracted every day with these phones and these different things if we don't know how to let it work for us instead of us working for it. Distraction. Distraction is it's a present, ever present temptation. I want you to think about this. I was about to say a present, it's an ever present temptation because it's always around you. Distraction every second. Right now, as we speak, there's distraction around all of you. Distraction. It's very important. Just wait a few seconds. Wait a few seconds. Step away. Ease yourself. Do not allow the distraction to take over. So what is important can attach itself to you. But if the distraction takes hold of you, then guess what, ladies and gentlemen? It hinders your success level. It hinders you being able to succeed. So you must starve your distractions. You must starve your distractions and feed your self-focus. So starve your distraction and feed your self-focus. So when you remove something, when you stop something, when you push something away, you got to input something else. So when you said, I'm going to starve you. So when I'm starving you, My mind isn't going to think of you because now I've placed focus in the place of the starvation. So because starvation is moved and pushed aside, now focus come in. And when I'm focused, ooh, I'm firm. When I'm focused, I'm diligent. When I'm focused, I'm joyful. When I'm focused, I'm at peace. When I'm focused, I'm vibrant. When I'm focused, I'm joyful. I'm happy. I'm ready, set, go. That's where I'm at. Come on, somebody. We got to starve distraction out. We cannot allow that self-imposed hurdle to affect us. These are all self-imposed hurdles, ladies and gentlemen. These are all self-imposed hurdles. The next one is safety. Number 8 is safety. Safety, guys, this is important. Safety. Number 8 is safety. This is very important for us to understand. You say, okay, safety, what do you mean? Well, see, most people will say they don't regret things. I want you to think about that, right? That they have done, but the things they didn't do and they have the chance to do, they opt out. They opt out of the things that they can do. Because why? They believe that it's safe. It is safe if I don't take this chance. It is safe if I just, I know the investment seemed good, but I'm just going to play it safe. We put a self-imposed hurdle and we wrap it with safety. See, I'm just safe. I'm just going to be safe. But you see, all that does is create lasting damage to your mental, lasting damage to any business that you're trying to accomplish. See, ladies and gentlemen, life is too short to wake up in the morning with regrets. It is too short to wake up in the morning with regrets. If we want to succeed, take a chance and be bold. We have to walk in boldness, speak in boldness, march in boldness, believe in boldness. Because safe is as if you might as well said, I'll walk in fear and just walk in the lane of fear. So some of you right now, you're saying, yeah, so you're telling me that I shouldn't be calculated and I shouldn't do things with the right way. And then I always want to go back and ask, so what is the right way? What is your concept of the right way? Please do tell, please do share. Because if you are not stepping into it boldly, then you cannot accumulate or acquire that which you seek in quantity, and it will not come to you boldly. You are playing it safe. Oh. Now let me give you guys the final one for this overcoming this hurdle. That makes so much sense. Procrastination. Number 9, procrastination, ladies and gentlemen, procrastination. Hands down, procrastination is the most favorite. Come on, somebody. I love it. I love it. I love it. Come on, y'all. Talk to me. Procrastination, hands down, the most favorite form of self-sabotage. Procrastination. Do I need to even dive in on procrastination? Because I think you guys already understand the depth of procrastination. Every day, ladies and gentlemen, that you spend procrastinating is another day spent worrying instead of getting the things that you need to get done completed. Every time, every day, spend procrastinating. So now you've become a time waster. You have become a time waster. So you continue to put off until tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow. I'll take care of it another day. It'll be done, but it never gets done, ladies and gentlemen. So what do we need to do? We need to discipline ourselves. Banish procrastination. You heard that? Discipline yourself and banish procrastination. So that means you would have taken a massive step towards success when you banish procrastination and discipline yourself. So when you move on today, you have to say, I will banish procrastination from my life. And I will discipline myself to be bold as I walk, not in fear. I'm hoping somebody's following me. See, this is very important because we got to understand how important this is. Let me say something to you guys, because you can study and you can do the research, and when you study and you see, and you can just look at what's happening in the world, and if you listen closely and you pay attention closely, you will see all of these things happening. Guess what? I said, let me even go a little further, and let me see what the good book that I like to study says about these things, or some of these things, or how we need to push, how we need to move forward. And I said, okay, because here is the thing. In life, there's a manual for everything. In life, there's a manual for everything. So most of you may be listening to me right now on one of these. You may be listening to me on a laptop. You may be on a tablet. But guess what, ladies and gentlemen? For that thing that you're utilizing to hear me, there's a manual. And when the phone comes, most of us, right? All we need to know is, how do I punch the number in? How do I save a number? How do I end a call? Some of us, okay, how do I add an email up here to be able to check my email? See, we only need to want to understand the basics. Then, because of usage on this thing, the phone, you said, man, this thing is getting hot. It's getting hot in my hand. This phone is getting hot. And you're like, why is this phone getting hot? Isn't it the latest model? Why is it getting hot? This is crazy. I'm going to send it back. And then you call, and you call the ownership of the phone. And they said, have you looked in the manual? There's an area that's called troubleshooting. In the contents, there's an area that's called troubleshooting. Did you see that when you do X, Y, Z, this is liable to happen? So in order for it not to happen, you can do X, Y, Z. See, it's all in the manual, ladies and gentlemen. But what don't we do when we have life, or when we have these things? We don't read the manual. See, for these things, there was a creator for it. And the creator is the manufacturer. And the manufacturer, once creating this thing, gave you a manual so that you will understand how to use it. So that when the hurdles come or the mistakes are made, you can troubleshoot by going to the manual. And if indeed all things in the manual doesn't help you, then you can come back to the manufacturer. I'm hoping somebody's following me right now. So see, I had to go, as I was studying this with the mistakes and the hurdles, I said, let me go to the manual that is given to operate life. Because I'm seeing mistakes and hurdles, and I said, let me go. What is it saying about mistakes and hurdles? I want to, outside of the other book that I'm reading, I wanted to go to the manual. Are you guys following me? If somebody's following me, go ahead and put 7 in the chat. If you're following me, put 7 in the chat. So I went to the manual. I went to the book that will give me direction as the manual that will come with this thing right here in my hand. And I said, well, let me check out what this thing says. And it says, well, in one of the books, it says to me, well, Philippians 3:13 and 14, it says, brethren, I count not myself to have apprehended, but this one thing I do, forgetting those things which is behind. Come on, somebody, and reach it forth unto those things which is before. I was like, wait a minute. So you're telling me the past that I'm literally holding to, that's stifling me, I need to let go of it, understand it, learn from it, but operate in the now, because I need to look forward to greater things. See, it says, I press towards the mark for the prize. That's what 14 said. I press towards the mark for the prize of the higher calling of the Most High in Christ. And I said, wait a minute. So the thing that I seek that's on the end, if I dwell back there, I can't get to the thing up there, because why? I am stagnated. I'm procrastinating. I'm operating in fear. I'm moving in the blame game. I'm comparing myself and other people's situations. I'm having envy. Ooh, I don't know if y'all are following me. See, then I said, hold on, I need to check again, because maybe there's one thing that said that. Maybe it's not true. So let me look some more. And then I saw Isaiah 42:9. And it said, behold, the former things are come to pass, and new things do I declare. Before they spring forth, I'll tell you of them. I said, wait a minute now, hold on. So the former things is in the past. So why am I living in the past? Why am I letting this hurdle hold me down? But maybe I lost some of y'all. Maybe I lost some of y'all. So let me say something. Hold on. Maybe I lost some of y'all. Mistakes are not failures. They are the stepping stone to the growth and self-discovery. Somebody should write it down. Mistakes are not failures. They are the stepping stone to growth and self-discovery. I need you to be with me today. I told you right now, listen, what's happening, this birthing is phenomenal, what I'm seeing. It's phenomenal what I'm seeing. It's that they are teachers, these mistakes. They are teachers who have sculpt your character and fortify your spirit. Teachers that sculpt your character and fortify your spirit. These mistakes. Ooh. See, right now, some of y'all, oh, I'm too prissy. Oh, I'm too good. See, right now, I'm saying I need to make some more mistakes. Let me bask in the ambiance to understand that the mistakes that have been made, I should not allow it to convict me and hold me down, but I should allow the mistakes to teach me so that I can grow. Self-discovery. I'm hoping somebody with me. It will dictate the person you will become, ladies and gentlemen. I'm hoping you guys are following me. See, it is normal to make mistakes in life. It is normal to make mistakes in life. See, mistakes is a key part of life, ladies and gentlemen, and it allows you to learn. It allows you to grow and build meaningful relationships. This is very important for you to understand. That's why making mistakes should not be something that you are holding on to, but it should be your greatest teacher, because it allows you to build a relationship with those around you. So don't be afraid to take the risk, accept what's going on and the mistakes, and use them, those mistakes, as an opportunity to grow into that person that you want to become. It's very important for you to understand, ladies and gentlemen. That's very important. So that's why when I went back to that manual and read and said, behold, the former things are come to pass, and the new things do I declare, I'm saying to myself, wait a minute now. Wow. I have a manual. And there's a manual for me, just as there's a manual for this thing. But my problem would be if I don't study the manual. See, you may say, well, their manual don't have everything. I don't believe everything in this manual. See, this is why he said, if the manual doesn't give you all the help, then I need you to package it and send it back to the manufacturer. And when you send it back to the manufacturer, guess what? The manufacturer will work on it. And if the manufacturer needs to birth something new, then you will get something new. Are you guys with me? If you're with me, put one in the chat. If you're with me, type 1 in the chat. You guys said there's a birthing happening. This is very important for you to understand the importance of this. There's a birthing happening. So when you look at mistakes, ladies and gentlemen, there's some things that you must do when you're talking about mistakes. One, you need to acknowledge and accept your mistakes. This is very important. One, you see, hurdles and mistakes, you need to acknowledge and accept your mistakes. Okay? This is very important for you to understand. Number two, you need to view mistakes as a valuable lesson. View the mistakes in your life as a valuable lesson. You got to acknowledge them, accept them, then you need to view them as valuable lessons in your life. This is extremely important. Then the next thing you should do after viewing those mistakes as valuable lessons, ladies and gentlemen, you need to practice mindfulness and live in the present. Practice mindfulness and live in the present. It's very important for you to understand. Practice mindfulness and live in the present. And when you do that, then you want to set inspiring goals for your future. But now, when you're practicing mindfulness and you're living in the present, now that you're in the present, you can set inspiring goals for the future. This is why the manual, back to the manual, ladies and gentlemen. Back to the manual. This is very important. That's why in the manual it says, live for today. I don't know if y'all are with me, man. Live for today, because tomorrow will take care of itself. That you bask in the ambiance of today. If you're fully in presence of today, if you are in solitude, mindfulness, peace, and powered up in today, what you're doing is you're catapulting yourself and giving yourself such a great preparation for tomorrow. But though you are in today, if it ends today, you were in today, in the present moment of today, and you would always be in the present. I'm hoping somebody's following me. So then you can set inspiring goals for the future. But setting inspiring goals doesn't mean you don't operate in the present. I'm hoping somebody's with me. See, this is very important when you're dealing with hurdles and mistakes, because when you're dealing with this, you need to seek a supportive community and mentorship. Mentorship is extremely important. This is why I said plug into mentorship. Don't be afraid. Don't be fearful to spend, to invest, to leverage. Mentorship is extremely important. Mentors have mentors. Mentors have mentors. It is always a process. Ladies and gentlemen, you got to understand how important this is. See, when I went to the manual, for me, the manual of life, it is because I read this statement by Albert Einstein. This statement was profound. It says, Albert Einstein said, wisely says that learn from yesterday, live for today, hope for tomorrow, right? Mistakes are a stepping stone to wisdom. Embrace your past, cherish your present, and look forward to a brighter future. It made me go to my good book, my manual, to be able to say, let me look at the manual and see what it is telling me, how it's directing me. And that was extremely important for me to really understand. Said, wow, look at this. I went to the manual, and Hebrews 12, 1-2 said to me, it says God tells us to remove the obstacles that hinder us and the sin that easily entangles us. So if we are called to run, we need to run. I said, wait a minute. So you're telling me if I start the journey to accomplish greatness, no matter what is in my way, because I feel that there's a calling, because I know in my spirit there's a birthing of something new that's coming, that I must overcome this hurdle in my way. And I must not allow the mistakes made to hinder me, but to use the mistake as my fuel so that my presence would be fired up, so that the rocket ship that will take off will get me into my future, then that is exactly what I need to do. So what are we looking at when we look at this overcoming and we look at this birthing and we look at this broken? Come on, somebody. Come on, somebody. When we look at, wow, but I am still here. I am still here. The mistakes that have been made, I am not holding myself bondage by it. So if I do not hold myself bondage by the mistakes, if the hurdles in front of me is not going to stop me, then I'm not going to allow you, no one, to hold me, bound me with those mistaken chains, with those self-imposed or their self-imposed or their projection as to how they feel and what they believe you are, but you are not. Because you've been called to serve. You've been called to do a great thing. So these things right here, they were created to do something amazing. Guess what? You were created to do something amazing. You were created to establish and do great things and have dominion. So then ask yourself, why am I allowing the hurdles, the mistakes to keep me bondage? Why am I allowing these things to hold me down? Do I move in a space of gratitude so that I can be in a space of peace and tranquility, to power up, to remove and banish what needs to be banished and input what needs to be inputted to take me to another level? Ladies and gentlemen, I challenge you today. I challenge you today. You receive this short talk in this leadership summit today. I challenge you to let it attach itself to the area in your life that needs it most, even if it's a snippet of what you've heard that can serve you, and you want to trash the rest, then so be it. If what you've heard need to be for someone else, then let that be the knowledge of projection, because you were birthed to serve and you're walking in to an awakening of greatness. So when we look at the world economically, when we look at the world, that's what's happening. Ladies and gentlemen, there's a birthing of something phenomenal coming. So all the chaos, all the trauma, all the things that we are seeing and witnessing, ladies and gentlemen, just be grateful that you are here to witness it, because there's a birthing of something amazing. So if you want to tap in to that birthing, go ahead and tap in. How do you tap in, you ask? By you literally dropping those things that we just talked about and going into the space of gratitude. Be humble, be thankful, and start moving. Remember, the doors are set to be open, but if there's nobody to move through them, then they're just open doors. So are you ready for that change in your life? Are you ready for that greatness that you need? Are you ready to claim what is yours? I say, as you charge out into this week, I say, as you go out full speed, claim this week with the passion. Claim this week. Take hold and take charge of all things in front of you, because it is already done. Do not allow those chains, those hurdles, those self-imposed to hold you hostage, but instead break loose and take flight. Take control, because remember, fear is a choice. So guys, I really thank you all for joining us today at the Leadership Summit. And thank you guys for being a part of this amazing, amazing summit. As always, I'm always fired up. I always I always come with the energy because you know what? This right here, ladies and gentlemen, I want to just share this with you guys right now. This Magic Mind portion, I call it a portion. This is some of my green juice. It's amazing what they do. It boosts my energy. It gives me all the focus that I need to be able to dive in, right? So I want to tell you guys, you need to look up my peoples. Listen, just go online, Google magicmind.com, and I'm telling you, they will take care of you because guess what? This is how me and my family stay vibrant because we're big on herbs. And once they connected with me and said, hey, listen, Mr. Boston, I need you to try our herbs. And listen, once I jumped in, I can't stop. So guys, I'm telling you right now, get some Magic Mind. You're going to take the week by storm when you go ahead and you jump on in and you are getting that focus that you need. No more brain fog, no more lethargicness, no more logging behind, because guess what? You have the right thing that you're inputting in your body. So listen, a lot of love, a lot of greatness for you guys. And I send you guys out this week to take charge, take control. I love you guys. See you guys on the next Leadership Summit. Listen, share it with everyone. Tag a friend, tag a friend, tag a friend. And I hope to see you guys again next week. Love you guys.